The universe rarely makes promises, but this September, it has written your name across the stars. Capricorn, everything is about to change for you, and I'm not saying this lightly. The celestial alignments occurring this month appear once in a decade, specifically for your sign, creating a convergence of energy that astrologers have been tracking with anticipation. What makes this month exceptional isn't just one planetary movement, but 12 distinct cosmic blessings that transform your naturally disciplined Capricorn nature into something extraordinary. Imagine waking up one morning and feeling that subtle shift, that inexplicable knowing that something has fundamentally changed. That's what September holds for you. While other signs will experience the usual planetary influences, you stand at the center of a cosmic spotlight, receiving energies specifically calibrated to your Earth element and Saturn rulership. This isn't random fortune. This is calculated cosmic timing directed precisely at your sign's unique journey. The weight you've been carrying since winter, that persistent feeling that you're pushing against invisible resistance, wasn't your imagination. Saturn's prolonged retrograde created tangible blockages in your path, testing even your legendary Capricorn persistence. But planetary retrogrades always end, and timing is everything. This month, as Saturn stations direct, it doesn't merely resume normal movement. It catapults forward with accumulated momentum, clearing obstacles that have frustrated your ambitions since April. I've analyzed hundreds of Capricorn charts for this period, and the pattern is unmistakable. The stars have arranged themselves in a formation that appears approximately every 12 years, but this time with a crucial difference. Jupiter's position amplifies everything, turning what would typically be subtle improvements into transformative breakthroughs. You, more than any sign, understand the value of patience. Your cosmic DNA contains the wisdom of time, the knowledge that true achievement requires persistence beyond what others can sustain. That patience is about to be rewarded in ways that even your practical mind hasn't anticipated. September doesn't bring fleeting happiness based on momentary pleasure, but enduring fulfillment rooted in genuine accomplishment and recognition. The most fascinating aspect of your September forecast isn't just what happens, but how perfectly timed these events are to your current position. Had these alignments occurred 6 months ago, you wouldn't have completed the necessary preparation. Had they arrived 6 months later, you might have already changed direction. The cosmic precision is remarkable, almost as if the universe has been watching your journey, waiting for exactly this moment to intervene. Before I reveal the 12 specific ways your September transforms, each one more impactful than the last, I want you to pause and truly absorb what's happening here. This isn't generic fortune or vague possibility. The stars have created a doorway specifically for Capricorns, a passage that appears rarely and briefly. Those who recognize it and step through will experience September differently from those who remain unaware. If you're new to Secret of the Zodiac, this is why subscribing matters. These cosmic doorways appear without announcement, and staying connected ensures you never miss when the stars align specifically for your sign. Take a moment now to hit subscribe and like this video, not as a favor to me, but as a commitment to yourself, to staying attuned to these celestial opportunities when they appear. What makes these 12 September blessings particularly significant for Capricorns is how they build upon each other, creating not just isolated moments of happiness, but a progressive transformation that unfolds throughout the month. The first 3 reasons focus on the areas where Capricorns often invest the most energy: your professional aspirations, financial security, and public recognition. These foundations of your life are about to experience simultaneous elevation in ways that validate your persistent efforts. The first reason: Saturn's retrograde ends, removing career blockages. Saturn, your ruling planet, has been moving backwards through the cosmos since early April, creating a unique form of resistance that only Capricorns truly understand. This retrograde motion didn't just slow external progress in your career, it forced an internal reassessment of your most fundamental ambitions. Every plan you attempted to launch encountered invisible barriers. Projects that should have taken weeks stretched into months. Communications became misinterpreted. Decision makers who previously supported your vision suddenly became unavailable or hesitant. This wasn't random bad luck. It was Saturn's deliberate cosmic intervention, compelling you to refine your approach before allowing you to advance. The universe rarely grants significant achievements without first ensuring you're fully prepared to handle them. For months, you've been in a cosmic holding pattern, strengthening your foundation while appearing stationary to the outside world. What makes September transformative is that Saturn finally stations direct in your house of career mastery. This shift doesn't merely return things to normal, it releases all accumulated momentum at once. Imagine a dam breaking after months of water pressure building behind it. The force doesn't trickle, it floods forward with unstoppable energy. The career blockages that have frustrated even your legendary Capricorn patience suddenly dissolve. That promotion that seemed perpetually delayed receives unexpected approval. The client who couldn't commit finally signs the contract. The funding that was repeatedly postponed suddenly becomes available. Most importantly, your own clarity about your professional direction crystallizes in ways that make previous doubts seem incomprehensible. This shift occurs specifically between September 10th and 15th, when Saturn's energy transitions from introspective to expressive. Mark these dates in your calendar. They represent the cosmic opening of doors that have been firmly closed since spring. The professional landscape transforms so dramatically that colleagues notice the difference in your energy before you even announce your accomplishments. The second reason, a rare Venus-Jupiter trine activates your wealth sector. While career advancement brings satisfaction, the second cosmic blessing touches something equally important to Capricorn sensibilities: your material security and abundance. Between September 17th and 22nd, Venus and Jupiter form a perfect trine aspect, creating a golden triangle of opportunity specifically in your wealth sector. This planetary configuration appears approximately once every 12 years, but what makes this occurrence exceptional is its precise alignment with your personal financial houses. Venus, representing value, beauty, and attraction, dances in perfect harmony with Jupiter, embodying expansion, opportunity, and abundance. This cosmic choreography creates a magnetic field around you that literally attracts resources toward your life. The financial opportunities arriving won't require you to compromise your integrity or abandon your methodical approach. Instead, they align perfectly with the authentic value you've been creating all along. A project you completed months or even years ago suddenly generates unexpected returns. An investment you made with careful consideration shows surprising growth. A skill you developed without expectation of monetary reward suddenly becomes highly valuable in an emerging market. Most significant for Capricorn specifically, this Venus-Jupiter trine activates your hidden talent for passive income generation. Your practical nature has always preferred reliable, consistent earnings over speculative ventures. September reveals how your measured approach to wealth building has positioned you perfectly for opportunities that others cannot access precisely because they lack your patience and strategic thinking. Watch especially for opportunities involving property, long-term investments, or intellectual assets. The Venus influence suggests these won't merely be financially rewarding, but will bring genuine pleasure and alignment with your values. Jupiter's expansion ensures that what begins as a modest opportunity contains within it the seeds of something substantially larger. The third reason, the harvest moon illuminates your achievement zone. The harvest moon, the most powerful full moon of the year, arrives on September 20th in your 10th house of public recognition and achievement. This cosmic spotlight creates visibility for your work in ways you've never experienced before. The universe essentially installs a celestial spotlight directly above your most significant accomplishments, making them impossible for important people to overlook. This lunar illumination doesn't create anything new. Rather, it reveals what has always been present, but perhaps unnoticed: your consistent quality, your methodical excellence, your reliable results. These qualities suddenly become vivid and undeniable to decision makers, gatekeepers, and influencers in your field. What makes this harvest moon particularly significant for Capricorns is its perfect opposition to Jupiter in your sector of foundations. This creates a powerful axis of energy connecting your private preparation with your public presentation. The inner work you've done, the skills you've developed without recognition, the knowledge you've accumulated without showcasing it, suddenly finds perfect expression in your visible achievements. 3 specific types of recognition typically arrive under this lunar influence. First, acknowledgement from authorities you respect, perhaps a mentor whose opinion truly matters to you, finally expresses appreciation for your growth. Second, recognition from peers who previously may have been competitors, but now acknowledge your expertise. Third, and most significantly for your happiness, internal recognition. You finally see the value of your own journey and achievements with clarity that dissolves lingering self-doubt. Pay particular attention to communications received between September 19th and 23rd. An email, call, or conversation during this period carries significance beyond its immediate content. Someone who has been silently observing your work for months or even years finally reaches out with an opportunity that acknowledges your unspoken talents. For Capricorn specifically, this harvest moon carries additional potency because it activates ancient symbolism connected to your sign. The harvest represents the culmination of patient cultivation, the moment when persistent effort finally yields tangible results. This cosmic timing could not be more perfectly aligned with your earth element energy and your natural affinity for manifestation through dedicated work. The most beautiful aspect of this third blessing is how it creates a ripple effect in your professional network. As influential people notice your capabilities, they naturally connect you with others operating at similar levels of excellence. A single recognition often leads to a cascade of opportunities, each building upon the previous one. September initiates this sequence, creating momentum that continues expanding long after the month concludes. These first 3 cosmic blessings focus on external achievement and recognition, areas where Capricorns naturally invest significant energy. However, true happiness requires balance between outer success and inner fulfillment. The next 3 reasons why September brings happiness address the more personal dimensions of your life: connections that nourish you, creative expression that fulfills you, and transformation that liberates you from outdated limitations. As the month progresses from material achievement toward personal growth, you'll discover that these dimensions reinforce each other. Your professional success creates space for meaningful connections. Your financial security enables creative exploration. Your public recognition validates your inner journey. This holistic approach to happiness, honoring both achievement and fulfillment, is precisely what makes September so transformative for your sign. The 4th reason, Mercury enters your networking house. Mercury, the cosmic messenger, enters your 11th house of connections, community, and future vision on September 7th, remaining there in direct motion throughout the month. This placement creates an extraordinary period for networking, but not in the superficial sense that often makes deep-thinking Capricorns uncomfortable. Instead, Mercury activates authentic, meaningful connections with individuals who genuinely complement your journey. The most remarkable aspect of this transit is its selectivity. Rather than surrounding you with numerous casual acquaintances, Mercury brings precisely 3 key individuals into your orbit, each carrying a specific piece of your larger vision. These aren't random encounters, but cosmic appointments with people who understand your ambitious nature without explanation. The first connection typically appears during the initial week of Mercury's transit, between September 7th and 14th. This person brings complementary expertise, something you've recognized as necessary for your growth, but haven't had time to develop yourself. The conversation flows with unusual ease, as if you've known each other for years rather than minutes. Pay attention to anyone who mentions an unusual coincidence in how you met. This synchronicity is often Mercury's signature. The second connection arrives mid-month, likely between September 15th and 22nd. This individual doesn't necessarily share your professional field, but possesses perspective that transforms how you view your own work. They ask questions no one has posed before, not to challenge your authority, but to reveal dimensions of your thinking that have remained subconscious. This conversation leaves you energized rather than drained, a rare experience for Capricorns who often find social interactions depleting. The third connection appears during the final week of September and serves as a bridge to opportunities beyond your current horizon. This person has access to networks, resources, or knowledge that perfectly addresses the next phase of your journey, often before you've articulated that need to anyone, including yourself. What makes this connection particularly valuable is its longevity. While the immediate benefit is clear, its full significance unfolds over coming months and potentially years. What distinguishes these Mercury-facilitated connections from ordinary networking is their mutual nature. You're not simply receiving value, but offering equally meaningful insights or opportunities to these individuals. This reciprocity creates sustainable relationships rather than transactional exchanges, a distinction that resonates deeply with your Capricorn integrity. For a sign that tends towards self-sufficiency, these connections arrive at the perfect moment, when you've developed enough mastery to collaborate from strength rather than need. The timing is significant. Had these individuals entered your life earlier, you might have either dismissed their relevance or become overly dependent on their input. September creates the perfect equilibrium for meaningful alliance. The fifth reason: Mars energizes your creativity. Beginning September 12th, Mars, the planet of action, energy, and initiative, enters your fifth house of creative expression, remaining there for an unprecedented 6-week transit. While Mars typically rushes through a house in approximately 6 weeks, this extended stay results from its harmonious relationship with Saturn, your ruling planet, creating sustained creative momentum rather than a brief burst of inspiration. This cosmic placement breaks through the practical limitations you've placed on yourself, not by making you reckless, which would create anxiety for a Capricorn, but by revealing how structure and creativity can reinforce rather than oppose each other. You discover that your natural organizational abilities actually enhance rather than restrict creative expression when properly channeled. 3 specific creative breakthroughs typically occur during this Mars transit. First, a solution you've been seeking for months suddenly appears with perfect clarity, often when you've stopped actively pursuing it. This revelation demonstrates that your subconscious has been processing the problem all along, requiring only Mars's energy to bring it into consciousness. Second, you discover an unexpected application for existing skills. Something you've mastered for practical purposes reveals artistic or innovative dimensions you hadn't previously recognized. This discovery is particularly satisfying because it honors your investment in developing expertise while expanding its application beyond conventional boundaries. Third, and perhaps most significant for your happiness, you experience the rare state psychologists call flow, complete immersion in a creative process where time seems to suspend and effort feels effortless. For methodical Capricorns who often approach tasks with conscious discipline, this spontaneous absorption provides profound fulfillment and genuine joy. What makes this Mars transit especially powerful for Capricorn specifically is how it transforms potential tension between your disciplined nature and creative expression into productive harmony. The creative energy doesn't distract from your ambitions, but rather reveals innovative approaches to achieving them. Inspiration becomes a catalyst for accomplishment rather than a diversion from it. Pay particular attention to creative impulses arising between September 17th and 24th, when Mars forms a perfect trine with Uranus in your sector of daily work. This aspect specifically enhances practical creativity, innovations that solve real problems rather than abstract artistic expression, though the latter remains available if you choose to explore it. An idea emerging during this window likely contains both immediate utility and long-term potential. The sixth reason: a powerful stellium forms in your house of transformation. Between September the 23rd and 30th, an extraordinary celestial event occurs as Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter form a stellium, a gathering of 4 or more planets, in your 8th house of transformation, shared resources, and profound change. This cosmic concentration creates transformative power unmatched by any other astrological event this year. The 8th house, traditionally associated with death and rebirth, governs not literal endings, but the completion of significant life chapters and the liberation that follows release. This stellium activates profound completion in your life, creating space for new beginnings, something you've carried for years, perhaps a belief about your capabilities, a relationship that drains your energy, or a responsibility that no longer serves your growth, will finally complete its purpose. What makes this transformation particularly positive for Capricorns is its gradual, manageable nature. Unlike sudden upheavals that create anxiety for your security-conscious sign, this stellium produces change through sequential revelations, each building upon the previous insight. The process feels like methodically removing stones from a wall until you can finally see through to the other side, a pace that honors your preference for measured progress. 3 specific areas of transformation typically activate under this influence. First, financial relationships undergo restructuring. Investments, partnerships, or shared resources evolve to better reflect your current priorities rather than past agreements. This shift often includes unexpected resources becoming available precisely when needed most. Second, emotional patterns that have unconsciously limited your self-expression complete their evolutionary purpose. A reaction that once protected you but now restricts your growth naturally dissolves, not through forced effort, but through genuine completion. This emotional maturation feels like setting down a heavy burden you've carried so long you'd forgotten it wasn't part of your essential self. Third, and perhaps most liberating, your relationship with control itself transforms. Capricorns naturally seek certainty through careful management, a strategy that serves many purposes but can become restrictive when applied universally. This stellium reveals areas where surrender actually creates greater security than control, a paradoxical insight that expands your approach to life's uncertainties. The most profound aspect of this 6th blessing is how it creates space, physical, emotional, and energetic, for September's remaining gifts to manifest fully. By releasing what has completed its purpose, you create capacity to receive what now seeks to enter your life. This cosmic clearing makes possible the next phase of your journey. As these first 6 reasons demonstrate, September's happiness emerges from a perfect balance of external achievement and internal growth. The remaining 6 blessings continue this pattern, creating integrated fulfillment that addresses both your ambitious nature and your deeper need for meaning. This holistic approach ensures that happiness doesn't depend on a single dimension of success, but emerges from harmonious development across all life areas. What makes these transformations particularly significant for Capricorns is how they honor rather than oppose your fundamental nature. You aren't asked to become someone else to find happiness, but rather to become more authentically yourself. The changes emerge organically from your existing foundation, rather than requiring demolition and rebuilding, an approach that respects your need for continuity while still enabling growth. As September's first half establishes new external conditions through career advancement, financial opportunity, and public recognition, its second half creates the internal shifts necessary to fully embody and enjoy these achievements. This balanced approach ensures that success doesn't become hollow accomplishment, but translates into genuine fulfillment and lasting happiness. The 7th reason, the equinox aligns perfectly with your ruling planet. September 22nd marks the autumn equinox, a moment of perfect equilibrium between light and darkness. And this year, it forms an exact alignment with Saturn, your ruling planet. This rare cosmic synchronization occurs approximately once every 29 years, making this September truly exceptional for Capricorn specifically. The equinox represents balance, equal hours of day and night, while Saturn embodies structure, mastery, and earned wisdom. Their alignment creates a unique harmonic resonance that activates your deepest potential. This cosmic event creates momentum for your goals that feels almost supernatural in its precision and power. Projects initiated or advanced during the 3 days surrounding the equinox, September 21st-23, receive Saturn's blessing of longevity and sustainability. Unlike the fleeting enthusiasm that accompanies ordinary new beginnings, these initiatives carry the gravitational weight of Saturn's influence, a force that ensures steady progression rather than rapid burnout. What makes this alignment particularly significant is how it bridges your practical and spiritual dimensions. Capricorns are often portrayed as exclusively materialistic and achievement-oriented, but this overlooks your sign's profound connection to time, wisdom, and legacy. The equinox-Saturn alignment activates this deeper aspect of your nature, revealing how your practical accomplishments serve a larger purpose connected to collective evolution and intergenerational wisdom. During this cosmic window, you'll likely experience moments of striking clarity about your life direction, not just your immediate goals, but your longer evolutionary journey. Insights arising during this period carry the distinctive quality of timelessness, as if you're accessing wisdom beyond ordinary consciousness. Pay particular attention to thoughts that arise during twilight hours, dawn, and dusk, when the equinox energy is most palpable. 3 specific manifestations typically accompany this alignment. First, a goal you've pursued for years suddenly reveals its deeper significance, transforming what felt like ordinary ambition into meaningful purpose. This revelation doesn't change your external actions, but profoundly shifts your relationship to them, infusing practical efforts with spiritual significance. Second, your natural leadership abilities activate in unexpected contexts. People who previously related to you casually suddenly seek your guidance on substantial matters. This influence extends beyond professional settings into community, family, or social circles, where your steadying presence becomes a gravitational center for others navigating uncertainty. Third, and perhaps most transformative, you experience a distinctive form of time perception, unique to Saturn-ruled individuals at their highest development. Past, present, and future temporarily align, allowing you to see your current position within a larger continuum. This perspective dissolves anxiety about immediate outcomes while strengthening commitment to legacy-oriented creation. For Capricorn specifically, this equinox alignment creates a profound sense of being precisely where you're meant to be, doing exactly what you're meant to do. The cosmic timing validates your path in ways that external achievements cannot, creating inner certainty that remains unshaken by temporary setbacks or challenges. The 8th reason, a karmic reward arrives for past sacrifices. Between September the 9th and 17th, the North Node, representing evolutionary destiny, forms a perfect sextile with Pluto in your sign, activating karmic recognition and reward. This aspect specifically illuminates sacrifices you've made that remain invisible to others, but have significantly shaped your character and capabilities. Capricorns understand delayed gratification better than any sign, often choosing long-term stability over immediate pleasure. This planetary alignment brings cosmic recognition of these choices, delivering rewards that wouldn't be possible had you taken easier paths. What arrives isn't random good fortune, but precisely calibrated return on spiritual investment, the universal acknowledgement of choices made from integrity rather than convenience. This karmic reward typically manifests as a prestigious opportunity you once thought impossible or beyond your reach. What makes it particularly meaningful is how perfectly it aligns with aspirations you may have stopped actively pursuing but never truly abandoned. The opportunity's timing feels almost suspiciously perfect, arriving precisely when you've developed the exact capabilities needed to succeed, not a moment earlier or later. 3 specific forms this reward commonly takes. First, recognition from an authority or institution whose standards you deeply respect. This acknowledgement carries special significance because it comes from a source whose discernment you trust, validating not just your achievements but your approach to achievement. Second, access to resources or knowledge previously unavailable, often through an unexpected connection or synchronicity. What's noteworthy isn't just receiving these resources, but the elegant way they appear, as if the universe orchestrated complex circumstances solely to deliver exactly what you need, precisely when you need it. Third, and perhaps most meaningful for Capricorn specifically, vindication of a principle or approach you maintained despite criticism or lack of support. Your sign's natural conservatism isn't mere rigidity, but often reflects genuine wisdom about sustainable methods. This karmic reward often includes watching others finally recognize the value of approaches you've championed all along. What distinguishes this cosmic blessing from ordinary good fortune is its profound resonance with your authentic path. The opportunity doesn't require you to become someone else or abandon your values. Rather, it rewards you specifically for being exactly who you are. This alignment between external recognition and internal integrity creates a rare form of happiness that doesn't depend on compromise or adaptation. The ninth reason, your innate discipline finally pays dividends. Beginning September 14th, Mars forms a powerful trine with Saturn, creating a cosmic amplification of endurance, determination, and sustained effort. This planetary aspect specifically benefits Capricorns because it activates qualities you've cultivated throughout your life: discipline, persistence, and the capacity to maintain focus despite challenges. What makes this cosmic influence particularly significant is its timing. It arrives during a period when competitors, colleagues, and collaborators face increasing pressure and complexity. While others falter under these demands, your innate Saturn-ruled capabilities become your definitive advantage. The contrast between your steady progression and others' inconsistency becomes increasingly apparent, creating recognition and opportunities. This cosmic advantage manifests in three primary ways. First, you maintain emotional equilibrium amid circumstances that destabilize others. This composure isn't just internal, but visibly distinguishes you in group settings, particularly between September 14th and 21st, when collective anxiety typically peaks. Your capacity to remain centered naturally positions you as a leader, whether or not you hold formal authority. Second, your methodical approach to complex problems yields superior results compared to reactive or improvisational methods. A situation emerges, likely in professional contexts, but potentially in personal or community settings, that specifically requires the sequential, building block approach natural to Capricorns. Your solution demonstrates why thorough preparation consistently outperforms last-minute brilliance. Third, and perhaps most satisfying, your capacity for delayed gratification creates options unavailable to those who prioritize immediate returns. An opportunity appears that requires substantial initial investment of time, energy, or resources before yielding results. While others hesitate or decline, you recognize the long-term value and commit wholeheartedly, securing an advantage that compounds over time. What makes this period particularly fulfilling for Capricorns is how it validates your fundamental approach to life. The qualities sometimes criticized as overly serious or unnecessarily cautious reveal their true value, demonstrating that what appeared as limitation was actually disciplined discernment. This cosmic vindication doesn't require external acknowledgement, though it often arrives. The satisfaction comes from witnessing the natural consequences of choices made with integrity and foresight. For Capricorns who have sometimes questioned whether their disciplined approach truly leads to greater results, September provides definitive affirmation. The correlation between consistent effort and meaningful achievement becomes undeniable, not as abstract principle, but as lived experience. This validation creates a distinctive form of happiness, the quiet satisfaction of seeing natural laws operate exactly as you've always understood them to function. These three cosmic blessings, the equinox alignment with Saturn, karmic reward for past sacrifices, and recognition of your disciplined approach, share a common theme. They validate your Capricorn essence rather than asking you to become something you're not. September's happiness emerges not from transformation, but from confirmation. The universe demonstrating that your natural inclinations, when fully expressed and appropriately directed, create exactly the outcomes you've sought all along. As we approach the final three blessings, the focus shifts from external validation to internal discovery, revealing dimensions of your capabilities that have remained latent or underutilized. This progression from achievement to expansion creates comprehensive fulfillment, addressing both your need for tangible results and your deeper longing for growth beyond current limitations. The 10th reason. A hidden talent emerges between September 19th and 27th. Neptune, the planet of intuition, imagination, and transcendence, forms a rare sextile with Mercury in your sector of innate gifts. This celestial configuration creates a cosmic revelation, illuminating capabilities within you that have remained dormant or underappreciated. What makes this planetary aspect particularly significant for Capricorns is how it bridges your practical, earth element nature with Neptune's transcendent qualities, revealing depths to your abilities that even you haven't fully recognized. This emergence isn't about developing new skills, but rather discovering hidden dimensions of talents you've already mastered. The Neptunian influence reveals the extraordinary within what you've considered ordinary, showing how your methodical Capricorn capabilities contain multitudes beyond their obvious applications. This revelation feels less like learning something new and more like remembering something forgotten, a capacity that has always been present, but temporarily obscured. The hidden talent typically manifests in one of three domains. First, an artistic or aesthetic dimension to your practical skills suddenly becomes apparent. Perhaps your organizational abilities reveal an inherent design sensibility. Your analytical thinking demonstrates mathematical elegance, or your communication style shows unexpected poetic qualities. This creative aspect doesn't replace your practicality, but enriches it with beauty and meaning. Second, intuitive abilities activate alongside your logical processes. You find yourself knowing things without being able to trace the rational steps that led to that knowledge, a form of direct perception that complements rather than contradicts your methodical approach. This intuitive dimension proves particularly valuable between September 22nd and 25th, when a situation emerges that cannot be resolved through analysis alone, but requires perceptive insight. Third, and perhaps most transformative for Capricorn specifically, interpersonal or empathic capabilities reveal themselves in contexts where you've typically relied on objective reasoning. You discover an ability to sense others' unspoken needs, motivations, or concerns with surprising accuracy. This emotional intelligence doesn't make you less objective, but adds a crucial dimension to your understanding of complex human situations. What makes this 10th blessing particularly significant is how it transforms your self-perception. Capricorns often define themselves through capabilities they can reliably demonstrate and measure. A practical approach that creates stability but can sometimes limit self-concept. This Neptunian revelation expands your sense of possibility without undermining your foundational strengths, showing that you contain multidimensional capabilities beyond categorical limitations. The most profound aspect of this hidden talent is how naturally it integrates with your existing expertise. Rather than requiring you to develop entirely new capacities, it reveals how your current mastery already contains these dimensions, like discovering a room in your house that has always existed but remained unexplored. This organic integration allows immediate application without the awkwardness or uncertainty that typically accompanies new skill development. Pay particular attention to intuitive flashes or unexpected perspectives arising between September 24th and 26th, when Neptune's influence reaches its peak intensity. These insights may initially seem impractical or unrelated to immediate concerns, but they contain seeds of significant future development. Making note of these perceptions, even those that seem momentarily irrelevant, creates a valuable record of emerging capacities that will continue developing long after September ends. The 11th reason, your natural caution transforms into calculated risk-taking. As Pluto stations direct in your sign on September 28th after months of retrograde motion, it forms a supportive aspect to your Sun position, creating a profound evolution in your relationship with uncertainty and risk. This planetary influence doesn't diminish your natural Capricorn caution, but rather transforms it into something more dynamic and expansive, calculated courage that knows precisely when to advance boldly. What makes this transformation particularly meaningful for Capricorns is how it honors rather than negates your fundamental nature. You don't become reckless or impulsive, but develop refined discernment, that distinguishes between unnecessary risks and strategic opportunities. This evolution represents the highest expression of Saturn's wisdom, not the elimination of boundaries, but their conscious, intentional application. This transformed relationship with risk typically manifests in three domains. First, professional advancement opportunities that previously seemed too uncertain suddenly appear as calculated possibilities with manageable downside. You recognize that what seemed like protective caution was actually limiting your growth potential in specific contexts where the potential rewards significantly outweigh identifiable risks. Second, interpersonal connections benefit from more vulnerable expression. You find yourself sharing perspectives, needs, or aspirations you typically keep private, discovering that strategic openness creates deeper connections without compromising your fundamental boundaries. This selective vulnerability demonstrates sophisticated understanding of which protective layers serve you and which merely isolate you from meaningful exchange. Third, and perhaps most liberating for Capricorns specifically, you develop comfort with iterative processes that don't guarantee specific outcomes. Your sign's preference for predetermined results often creates resistance to exploratory approaches. This Plutonian transformation reveals the power of structured experimentation, maintaining your fundamental need for organization while embracing the generative potential of controlled uncertainty. What distinguishes this evolution from ordinary risk-taking is its integration of Capricorn wisdom with Plutonian transformation. You don't abandon careful assessment, but develop nuanced understanding of which uncertainties contain hidden opportunity and which genuinely threaten stability. This discernment represents the maturation of your earth element nature rather than its suppression or override. The most profound aspect of this 11th blessing is its timing, arriving precisely when significant opportunities emerge that require decisive action despite incomplete information. Between September 28th and October 3rd, extending slightly beyond September but initiated within the month, a situation develops that perfectly tests and demonstrates your evolved relationship with calculated risk. Your response demonstrates both to yourself and others that your Capricorn nature contains previously unrecognized dynamism and adaptability. This transformation creates distinctive happiness through expanded agency, the liberation that comes from refined discernment rather than rigid rules. You discover that security emerges not from avoiding all uncertainty, but from skillfully navigating it, a capability that creates both immediate opportunities and long-term resilience as circumstances continue evolving beyond your control. The 12th reason, a powerful new moon sets foundation for expansion. The September 30th new moon occurs in your 9th house of expansion, higher learning, and broader horizons, creating the astrological equivalent of planting seeds in exceptionally fertile soil. This lunar event doesn't just initiate a typical monthly cycle, but establishes foundation for a remarkable 6-month growth trajectory that extends well beyond September's boundaries. What makes this new moon particularly powerful for Capricorns is its perfect trine with Saturn, your ruling planet. This aspect creates cosmic synchronization between new beginnings and established structures, allowing expansive growth that builds upon rather than destabilizes your existing foundation. The 9th house represents the horizon beyond current limitations, while Saturn embodies mastery of present circumstances. Their harmonious relationship creates expansion that honors rather than abandons hard-won stability. This cosmic initiation typically activates 3 specific domains. First, educational pursuits or knowledge acquisition receives powerful momentum. A learning opportunity, formal or informal, presents itself with perfect timing to advance your development. What distinguishes this from ordinary education is how precisely it addresses gaps in your knowledge that have limited further progress in key areas. Second, philosophical or conceptual frameworks evolve to accommodate greater complexity. A perspective that has served you well but reached its explanatory limits naturally expands to incorporate new dimensions of understanding. This conceptual evolution doesn't require abandoning previous wisdom, but rather contextualizing it within more comprehensive frameworks. Third, and perhaps most exciting for Capricorns, who value tangible results. Practical applications emerge from theoretical understanding. Knowledge that previously seemed interesting but not immediately useful suddenly reveals direct relevance to current projects or challenges. This integration of abstract principles with concrete application creates the distinctive satisfaction of seeing invisible concepts manifest as visible outcomes. What makes this 12th blessing particularly significant is its establishment of sustainable momentum. Unlike temporary influences that create momentary opportunity but quickly dissipate, this new moon initiates progressive development that continues strengthening over coming months. Seeds planted during this lunar cycle, particularly intentions set or actions initiated between September 30th and October 3rd, receive cosmic nutrients that ensure robust growth far beyond immediate circumstances. The most profound aspect of this final September blessing is how it creates bridge between present accomplishment and future possibility. Capricorns sometimes focus so intently on current responsibilities that potential opportunities remain theoretical rather than actionable. This new moon specifically illuminates practical pathways between your established mastery and emerging horizons, showing precisely how current capabilities create foundation for expanded expression. As September concludes with this powerful lunar initiation, the 12 blessings create an integrated system of transformation that addresses every dimension of your life: professional achievement, financial security, public recognition, meaningful connections, creative expression, personal liberation, cosmic timing, karmic reward, disciplined advantage, hidden talents, calculated courage, and sustainable expansion. This comprehensive activation ensures that happiness emerges not from isolated experiences, but from harmonious development across your entire life experience. What makes September particularly transformative for Capricorns specifically is how these blessings honor rather than oppose your fundamental nature. You aren't asked to become someone else to find happiness, but rather to express your authentic self with greater range, depth, and integration. The happiness available isn't despite your Capricorn qualities, but because of them. Your disciplined approach, patient persistence, and structured wisdom create perfect foundation for the cosmic gifts September brings. As you move through this extraordinary month, remember that these blessings unfold sequentially rather than simultaneously, creating progressive development rather than overwhelming transformation. Each cosmic gift builds upon those before it, creating coherent evolution rather than scattered change. This measured pace honors your Capricorn preference for sustainable growth while ensuring comprehensive transformation by month's end. Capricorn, what you've discovered through these 12 cosmic blessings is nothing less than a complete realignment of your life, a transformation that honors your essential nature while expanding its expression beyond previous limitations. This September orchestrates a cosmic symphony specifically composed for your sign, with each celestial movement building upon the previous one to create harmonious fulfillment across every dimension of your experience. The journey begins with external achievements as Saturn ends its retrograde, removing career blockages that have frustrated your ambitions since April. The professional landscape transforms dramatically as accumulated momentum suddenly releases, creating advancement opportunities that validate your patient persistence. This career breakthrough synchronizes perfectly with financial abundance as a rare Venus-Jupiter trine activates your wealth sector, attracting resources that align with your authentic value creation. Public recognition follows as the harvest moon illuminates your achievement zone, creating visibility for your work and drawing influential people toward your capabilities. This external acknowledgement creates foundation for meaningful connections as Mercury brings 3 key individuals who complement your vision and understand your ambitious nature without explanation. These relationships expand into creative expression as Mars energizes your 5th house, breaking through practical limitations to reveal how structure and creativity reinforce rather than oppose each other. Personal transformation accelerates as a powerful stellium forms in your 8th house, completing chapters that have fulfilled their purpose and creating space for new beginnings. This liberation synchronizes perfectly with cosmic timing as the equinox aligns with Saturn, creating momentum for goals that emerges from perfect balance between reflection and action. Your disciplined approach receives universal recognition as a karmic reward arrives for past sacrifices, delivering opportunities that wouldn't be possible had you chosen easier paths. Your innate capabilities become your definitive advantage as competitors falter under pressure you easily withstand. This external validation turns inward as Neptune reveals hidden dimensions of talents you've already mastered, showing how your practical abilities contain multitudes beyond their obvious applications. Your relationship with uncertainty evolves as Pluto transforms natural caution into calculated courage, creating refined discernment that knows precisely when to advance boldly despite incomplete information. The journey culminates as the new moon establishes foundation for a remarkable 6-month growth trajectory, creating sustainable expansion that honors rather than abandons your hard-won stability. This comprehensive activation ensures happiness emerges not from isolated experiences, but from harmonious development across your entire life experience, a transformation that doesn't require becoming someone else, but rather expressing your authentic self with greater range, depth, and integration. Capricorn, if these insights have illuminated your path and resonated with your experience, I invite you to join our cosmic community at Secret of the Zodiac. Our channel provides these detailed astrological revelations daily, with focused attention on how cosmic movements specifically impact your sign. Subscribe now to ensure you never miss these celestial opportunities when they appear, particularly in October, when Jupiter's movement creates financial expansion specifically for Capricorns. I would deeply appreciate if you would leave a thoughtful comment below, sharing which of these 12 blessings resonates most strongly with your current journey. Your perspective not only helps fellow Capricorns recognize similar patterns in their lives, but also guides our future content creation. When you share your experience, please mention the specific reason number and how it manifests in your circumstances. These detailed insights create meaningful conversation that benefits our entire community. The like button serves as more than simple appreciation. It actually helps our algorithms reach other Capricorns who need this information but haven't yet discovered our channel. Each like exponentially increases our ability to share these cosmic revelations with those seeking guidance during significant transitions. For those receiving particular value from these cosmic insights, please consider supporting our work through Super Thanks. This financial contribution directly enables our daily video creation, covering production costs and research resources that ensure maximum accuracy and relevance. Your support through Super Thanks specifically allows us to maintain our comprehensive approach, rather than offering simplified, generic interpretations that fail to honor the complexity of your Capricorn nature. I've created detailed forecast videos for October that examine Jupiter's upcoming financial influence for Capricorns. Content available now in our channel library. These insights provide specific dates and guidance for maximizing the abundant opportunities appearing next month, as cosmic momentum continues building upon September's foundation. Until our stars align again, remember that your Capricorn discipline isn't limitation but wisdom, the patient persistence that transforms cosmic opportunity into tangible reality. September has initiated remarkable transformation, but its full manifestation requires your continued engagement with these celestial energies. Our channel remains your companion throughout this journey, providing cosmic navigation for each significant planetary movement affecting your sign.